Another Brick fan here with a look at a Minions The Rise of Gru set. This is the brick-built Minions and their lair. This is set 75551 and was released in April 2020. It has 876 pieces, 3 minifigures, and cost about $50 when it was released. The main focus of this set is the brick-built Minions, and I think they look just fantastic. There are instructions to build the 3 Minions that they have the 3 minifigures for, so that would be Bob, Stuart, and Kevin. Right now we see Stuart and Kevin. Kevin and Bob are the 2 that switch out. I will show you what Bob looks like here in a few minutes. Let's start by taking a look at Stuart. So here's Stuart, and you can see there's these teeth pieces used to represent his hair, which I think looks very accurate to the figure. The eye piece here is done on so that it rotates, so you can rotate his eye. Gives you some really interesting different looks. There's a printed piece here for his mouth that you can see, and then his arms articulate and his hands are on ball joints. He does have 3 fingers that are on clips, so they can be positioned in lots of different ways as well. The figure looks really good from the outside just looking at it this way, but one of the really neat things is each one of these is an actual layer for the minifigure. So if we open this up inside, and you can see starting at the top that this one belongs to Stuart. You can see his name right up here in the top. This little piece here rotates his eye, so we showed you earlier. And then there's all kinds of different things that are particular to Stuart. So you see on the side here, he's got a bullseye. It looks like a little spear piece here. Turning it around, you see some artwork up here. There's a television with perhaps a VCR or tape here. Some other panels. These are printed panels on either side. Some standard printed pieces. There's kind of a boomerang or a propeller piece here, and then another sign here. You can see that Stuart has an awesome stereo system here. And we can put Stuart inside. And if you keep his arms down like this, you can actually close it up with Stuart inside. But the other nice thing that Stuart has in here is a bed. So we can pull this down right here. And you see Stuart's bed here, which allows him to lie down in there. So that's Stuart's lair. So here's our brick-built Kevin. Once again, the bottom is done pretty much the same for Kevin as it was for Stuart. With the 2 black feet, the bottom piece is just his overalls, and then the arms are built the same way, although Kevin's arms are a little bit longer, having this additional piece here to extend his arms out. But again, he has the 3 fingers and the articulating hands. His eyes do rotate as well, and they see that they're linked together so that they both move when you rotate them. Let's take a look at the inside and see Kevin's lair. One other thing to notice is this little plant piece on the top to represent Kevin. So inside of his lair there's a lot going on, just like there was with Stuart. Kevin is more of a computer guy, so he has a bunch of computer panels here, all printed pieces, and then these monitors up in here. All of the monitors are stickers, and they're just placed on the blue 2x2 tiles. Then you look on the other side here, he has another sticker for a little picture there. He's got a crowbar in here. There's a fire extinguisher. He's got a keypad over here and some more gauges and dials. Turning it the other way, you see that he's got a banana up here on one of these clip pieces. Perhaps a laundry machine here or something like that. Just all kinds of different machines and pieces inside of his lair. Once again, you see all of these gears up here. This is what turns his eyes. So as we rotate this, it will rotate his eyes around. Kevin can go ahead and stand up here on his little desk. Puts him really close to the monitors, but it does allow for the lair to be sealed up with Kevin inside, just like we had with Stuart. This set does include instructions on how to build Bob. We will show you in just a minute, but you can only have either Bob or Kevin with the pieces that come with the set. It would have been nice to get enough pieces to create all three of these brick-built minions at the same time, but I can understand that they're trying to keep the cost down a little bit. It probably would have been another $20 or $30 had they included 3 full brick-built minions. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bob next. Here is the third minion. This is Bob. He is the shortest of the minions. And you have to take Kevin apart and reuse the pieces to make Bob. So you can't build all 3 minions together, as I mentioned before. However, this looks really good. You see that there's a different mouthpiece. So this is a printed piece here for his mouth. And you see that he has 2 different colored eyes. So he has a green and a brown eye, whereas Kevin had the 2 brown eyes. You see the Bob figure down here, the minifigure that we will review shortly. And you see he also has the brown and the green eye. He's wearing a martial arts outfit. Just like the other minions, this has the articulating hands with the 3 fingers. So you can move those around, and they're on ball joints. So they have quite a bit of posability with the hands. Of course, the eyes rotate like they do on the other 2 brick-built minions. And like the other 2 brick-built minions, there is a lair here. Starting at the top, you see Bob's sign here, so you know that it's Bob's room. You can also see all of the martial arts equipment that Bob has. So in here he has a staff, some sai, a sword, a little wooden dummy here for him to practice on. Has the nice tan floor there, and some trans orange pieces that allow for maybe some lights or some extra tiling inside of his room. He also has a lot of these clear, round 1x1 bricks, the cylinders, and a few red ones in there. And he has a couple of dressers on either side there. And then there's a couple of pictures up there in the top corners, which are a little hard to see because the lighting's not great. But that is the interior of Bob, and it looks really good. And of course, like the others, there's a little spot here where you can put Bob inside of his lair here. Close that up. If you get his arms out of the way anyway, you can close this up and keep Bob inside. Now let's take a quick look at the minifigures. Here are the minifigures for the 3 minions that come with this set. Starting from left to right, we have Bob, then Stuart, then Kevin. I like how all 3 of these minions are different sizes. So Kevin's head in this case is approximately 2 bricks high, whereas Bob's head is 1 brick high, and then Stuart is in the middle. So I would say he's probably a brick and a plate in height. They also have differences in their eyes, as you can tell. Bob and Kevin have 2 eyes, where Stuart just has the 1 eye. The black band that goes around indicating their goggles strap is actually raised up, so I believe it's just a black piece of plastic put over the headpiece. And you can also see that Kevin has a little stem piece there to represent his hair. And as we move around the figure, you'll see that Stuart also has some printing to indicate his hair. So let's take a look around these figures. And as we move around, you see that Bob has a stripe on his orange shirt, as well as a stripe down his leg. If we move this arm out of the way here, you'll see that he's got the stripe on his leg there, as well as on his arm. Stuart here in the middle is wearing a long sleeve blue shirt or pajamas. And then Kevin on the end here has just the standard Minion overalls. You can also see Stuart's hair here on the top as it printed onto his headpiece. The backs of all these figures are pretty plain, but you can definitely see the distinction in the height of the headpieces. Once again, the stripes on Bob's arm and leg here on the other side as well. And then we get all the way around back to the front. Another accessory that comes with this are a series of hats. So we have the little Japanese hat here, and then a couple of different hard hats. So we can put hard hats on the different Minions. And then here's a red hard hat we can put on Kevin. May need to put stud pieces in there just to make sure that the hats fit correctly. But it gives you the ability to kind of change the look of the Minions up a little bit. Let's go back to the main set and I'll give you my final thoughts. Going back to the first two Minions, like I mentioned before, overall this is a really good looking set. I like the new Minions minifigures. I think they look very accurate. I really like the fact that they are different heights and then also have different goggle configurations or eye configurations, which I think is very accurate to the movie. I think the brick-built figures look very accurate to their minifigure counterparts and obviously to the movies itself. I like the hairpiece here on Kevin. I think the use of that plant piece is very clever. This is the newer one with the 6 stems on it. And then as far as Stuart goes, he has these little hair stringies on the side, which is very accurate to the character, and you can see matches up to the minifigure very well. Of course, the layers that are inside each of these brick-built Minions are very detailed and very unique for each Minion. So I think that's a really nice feature of this set as well. I guess my only real downside, I think, on this set is the fact that you only get to build 2 of the Minions at a time. And I did look on Lego.com to kind of price out how much it would cost to get all the pieces for another Minion. And it was going to be well over $30 to get all those, which obviously buying piece by piece from Lego is a little bit more expensive than buying a set. But really, the overall value of this set at 876 pieces for $49.99 or $50 is really a good value for a set that looks really nice and would be a great, not only a great display piece, but a good play piece as well. I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Minion set, and I'm going to get started on another video. Until then, happy building! If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to see more of my content. You might also want to take a look at some of these other videos I've linked up here on the screen.